Well, I had heard you talk about when you're getting to know your characters, you will write letters to yourself from them. Is that right?
Yes. um, so when I'm getting to know them, also when I'm stuck or I just need to, it usually happens in like the middle. The middle of the book is always so hard for me. I always know the beginning and I know the end. The messy middle is like the gray area, the gray matter for me. Like when I was writing Dear Student. So Victoria J. Coe is a fabulous author. She wrote the Fenway and Hattie series, and she's a good friend. And I sent her my outline. I'm like, I need some help, and I need to know if you think I'm going in the right direction. The first 20 chapters I had outlined. The last like 10 chapters I had outlined, and in the middle of my outline said, something great happens here. She's like, that's my favorite part. So often when I have that as my blocked out middle, I do this exercise where I have the main character write me a letter and tell me a secret, or write me a letter and tell me something. I like to access story a lot of different ways. And for me, from a creative standpoint, it's my creativity ticks on when I'm not just staring at my computer. That's one way for me to access story, but it's not the only way. And sometimes I need to access the characters off of the screen in the same way. So I have them write me letters. And all the secrets in Smart Cookie, all of them came out of these letters. And in all the books, I learned a lot about my characters by just having them talk to me. And I know I'm the author, so I recognize that I'm writing to myself, but it feels different. It feels like you're a muse, like you're the conduit for this voice. And if you just kind of let go, you can really tap into if you really, really listen, you can tap into all the things they want to tell you. And I find that to be just a really effective technique when I'm writing or revising. It gives me access to my characters in a way I wouldn't have otherwise. And sometimes these letters, there are many aspects of every story, and I imagine I'm not the only one who feels this way, but like I'll write an outline generally, and I think I know where the story is going. Then I write one of these letters, and my main character, Autumn's like, nope, that's not happening. That's not true. I wouldn't do that. Or the big scene, one of the big scenes in Dear Student involving Logan and Autumn, I didn't see that coming. That came from a letter. So it's an interesting technique, and I definitely encourage writers, kids, to try it. It just, I don't know, I think when you can access story, a lot of times I'll read my story out loud, or I use these note cards and I highlight the storylines and I lay them on the floor and pray my dogs don't jump all over them, to make sure that through all of the different themes of the story, which are different colors, like visually I can see them on the floor, are being carried through the story. Like if I can access my story from all the different ways, whether I'm visually looking at it or hearing it or using these other techniques, it's really helpful to me to unlock and really learn the characters.
So are those letters someplace where 200 years from now, when they do the Elly Swartz Memorial Library, where they put all those letters in there and people will be able to peruse them?
They're on my computer. Yes, that's very gracious and generous of you to think that's my future, but they're on my computer. Yes. And I have all my stuff, all the discarded pieces, the different versions of all my stories because they go through a lot. Finding Perfect was originally dual POV, and now it's just written from the perspective of Molly. Hidden Truths, which comes out in 2023, was originally written from the perspective of Eric, and now it's Eric and Danny. Danny is Danielle, so it's a boy and girl, both dual POV. So the story is, yeah, I keep all of it tucked away.